Good morning, everybody, and welcome to round 11 of TCR Europe here at the Temple of Speed that is Monza. A delayed opening race of the weekend. We should have been in action yesterday, but inclement weather here in Italy has postponed the event to this morning for what should make a Monza double day of action here in Italy, with race 1 taking place this morning and race 2 this afternoon at 4:25 CEST local time. As you can see, air temperature is a cool 10 degrees centigrade this morning. The track, though, is thankfully dry, and we are all set for what should be a spectacular festival of touring car racing as we come to the final few races of what has been a spectacular 2023 season in TCR Europe, and a season that continues to get stronger for this man, Ruben Volt at ALM Motorsport. The new Honda Civic Type R FL5 TCR, increasingly competitive in national and international competition. Ruben Volt used that to good advantage yesterday in a wet, dry, wet, then dry again qualification session to put that car on pole position and give himself and his team the best opportunity into the first corner here at Monza to take a strong result in the opening race weekend. We've got several drivers on the grid that are new or returning to the world of TCR competition. We've got Nico Baldan once again driving for ComTU Racing in the Audi. Nico had a great qualification session yesterday, working in tandem with his teammate Kobe Powles to maximise the slipstream effect. Baldan will start in third position for this opening race of the day here today on Sunday at Monza. Victor Davidovsky, another driver looking to score a big result. He's fourth in the championship standings, mathematically still within contention for the title, but realistically he's going to be playing a support act to his three teammates ahead. Tom Coronel, our championship leader, Kobe Powles, newly in second position following points from qualification, and John Philippi are the three drivers realistically in with a fight coming into these final four races, final two rounds of the 2023 season. Coronel has 357 points, but in qualification could only manage 8th fastest time. Strategic, yes it is, for the reverse grid pole position this afternoon, and also to help with balance of performance weight heading into the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, the last round of the year. But courtesy of second position from Kobe Powles, the young Belgium driver now closes the deficit to his teammate to 32 points at the front of the field. And this is our starting grid for race 1. And as you can see, Ruben Volt and Kobe Powles make up an incredibly young and exciting front row of the grid. Nicola Baldan, Victor Davidovsky are third and fourth position. John Philippi in a good spot in fifth, looking to move forward ahead of his new teammate Lewis Brown in sixth place. Victor Anderson lines up in the Lincoln Kofa MAGP in seventh, and championship leader Tom Coronel eighth on the grid. The Dutchman has work to do. Giovanni Scamardi, a new name to the championship, is ninth ahead of the returning Felice Yelmini in 10th. Ivan Pelkin will be 11th place ahead of Daniel Tkachenko in 12th. Giacomo Gamande, another returning driver for this round, is 13th. And Levente Lasonche, 14th on the grid, but that does not tell the whole story for the aggressive Team Italia driver. Lasonche was incredibly quick in practice, even more so in qualification. He was in fourth position as the rain was starting to fall, and on a fastest lap for himself, and potentially a lap to put himself into the top two placings when he lost the car at the Ascari chicane. Heavy contact with the barriers would follow. Big damage for the Hyundai Elantra N TCR car. Luckily, fortunately, Levente was uninjured, but that would be the end of his session. That would require a 45-minute delay as repairs were made to the circuit barriers. And because he did not set a time in qualification and caused the red flag, his times have been removed. So he starts from last on the grid. But if that Hyundai Elantra N TCR is working as expected, expect Levente Lasonche to make massive inroads as the race progresses. Driver and car in tandem have been very, very quick indeed. So that's going to be a story that we'll want to keep our eye on. And qualification itself was a very dramatic affair. Started in dry conditions, then during the break, during the repair time for the circuit, the rain began to fall. That increased in intensity, but the ambient temperature here at Monza during the day has been incredibly high, in the mid-20s, so the circuit dried very, very fast indeed. That allowed the drivers to go out there and set competitive lap times right from the off, and we had a shuffling of positions all the way through Q1 and then into Q2. The big fight for track placement, the big fight for the front of the grid, ended up being a Ruben Volt advantage, but never discount the ComTU racing cars. Kobe Powell's second position, Nico Baldan in third, Victor Davidovsky in fourth, John Philippi in fifth, Lewis Brown making his debut for ComTU racing in sixth position. There are a lot of Audis at the sharp end of the grid, and they all are very competitive here at Monza. And for the likes of John Philippi, for the likes of Tom Coronel, and in particular for the likes of Kobe Powell's, they're all looking to get themselves in the best championship position before we head to the final weekend of the season at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, on the 21st and 22nd of October. As you can see, the grid is being cleared now. We're only a few moments away from going racing for the first time today. The first track action of the day here at the Monza Grand Prix circuit. The rescheduled event will open the day. We'll be back in action again at 4:20 CEST for our second and final race of the weekend. It's a cold day out there in Monza. Grip is going to be at a premium for these drivers. It's going to be difficult in the opening laps. It will very much be a case of who can find the grip, who can find the space, and who feels the bravest coming into those first few corners in order to get that advantage and scamper away at the front of the field. At 17 years of age, Ruben Volt at the front of the field has a lot of pressure on his very young shoulders. But one thing we've learnt about Ruben Volt's brief time in TCR Europe, he is an incredibly fast driver, an incredibly brave driver. He's not fazed by the temple of speed, and he's certainly not fazed about the field of cars behind him. So Ruben Volt will be gunning for a victory at the front of the field as the charge for the new Honda Civic continues in TCR competition. We've seen the Belgian driver, car number 84, Giovanni Scamardi, there on our screen. He's another new driver, 29 years old, driving for aggressive Team Italia. Races in TCR Italy. He's raced, of course, last weekend in this car on this track, so he has some relevant experience. He'll be starting this first race in 9th position, so well inside the top 10. And with an opportunity from the pace that we've seen in the aggressive Team Italia car, he will hope to be moving forward as this race progresses, and certainly in the mix. He's not afraid to get his elbows out, is Scamardi. So again, that should be quite an exciting opportunity to see if he can move forward and consolidate what has been a strong weekend up to this point, despite the mishaps of qualification for aggressive Team Italia. On home soil, of course, in Italy. It'll be a good opportunity for them to score a big result in front of their home crowd. Final few preparations. The famed Monza banking that you can see in the background as well. Incredibly historic and iconic circuit is the Monza Grand Prix track. It's been around for a very long time indeed. It's been played host to some historic moments in the world of motor racing, and we hope to etch our names in the history books once again in this first TCR touring car race of the weekend, because anybody who follows the world of touring cars, I'm sure you can all agree with me on this one, we certainly know how to put on a good show in the TCR classification, and the TCR Europe season has certainly not been short of dramas over the course of this year. We've had new race winners, we've had emerging talents, the likes of the Ruben Volt and Kobe Powell's that make up the front row of our grid. Two teenage drivers, limited experience. Kobe Powell's, for example, his first year in circuit racing full stop, having been the RX3 Junior Rallycross champion. And it's a very exciting time for touring car fans with these new talents emerging at the front of the field. The superstars, not just of tomorrow, but of today as well, showing massive performance day in, day out on the racetrack, and it's great to be part of their journey as well as we watch from home and see how they emerge at the front of the field. And they've got some big competition. The likes of Tom Coronel, 30-year career, 51-year-old Dutchman, been there, won absolutely everything. Open wheel races, touring car races at the very highest level. And Coronel still very firmly in the sharp end, in the mix, still has all of the pace, all of the tenacity, and a whole load of experience as well, for good measure. So here we go then. The formation lap begins. One tour of this circuit, then we'll go racing for 10 laps. That may possibly be increased to 12 should we have a safety car, but 12 will be the maximum that these drivers face here at Monza. 10 hopeful green flag racing laps. We're racing for points. 40 points was paid out to the race winner. Come the checkered flag, 35 for second, 30 for third, 27 for fourth, 24th for fifth, on down to 15th position. Another thing that's worth bearing in mind coming into this race as well, for the TCR Europe field at least, this is their last opportunity to score points for the TCR world ranking, to put them in a position to go to the world ranking final early next year. This is the last opportunity, as we're not racing again until the 21st and 22nd of October. World ranking closes on October the 1st. So anybody with aspirations of placing themselves in that top 45, this is the opportunity they need to take to get themselves at the front of that queue and possibly in to the world ranking final, and an opportunity to race against some of the best touring car drivers globally across all the regional, national, and of course the Kubo TCR World Tour field as well. That'll be a secondary consideration though for the likes of this man, Tom Coronel. He's firmly focused on this, the TCR Europe Championship. He finished second last season to teammate Franco Girolami. Franco now in the background providing support and coaching to Victor Davidovsky. Coronel did not like finishing second one bit. I will absolutely guarantee you that one, and he's redoubled his efforts coming into this season. It was a strategic qualification for the Dutch driver. He wanted to be lower into the top 10 to give himself the advantage on the reverse grid, and that's worked very nicely indeed. 8th position, he'll start this afternoon, but 8th position is still a grid placing where you can do big things coming into the race. As we saw the cars going through the Variante Ascari there, you can see still quite a bit of damp patches out on the circuit. It's not a 100% dry racing surface here at Monza, so drivers will be mindful that there is going to be limited grip in places at this track. It'll make the opening few laps a little bit more difficult than would ordinarily be the case for these touring car drivers, so watch out for a few mistakes being made there. There's opportunity, it will present itself. Little Squirrel deciding to cross the road as well, thinking better of it, now having a quick watch of TCR cars back behind the barrier. You go, that's not a place to cross the road. Mr. Squirrel, I think he's immediately recognised that this is probably not a good idea, and off into the trees he heads. We like wildlife on racetracks, seems to happen a lot recently, but I'm sure he's going to get back over that barrier and to safety very shortly. Ruben Volt, though, our pole position man, warming the tyres, warming the brakes. One final opportunity to get that car in the operating window for the charge down into the first corner, the difficult first chicane here at Monza. Jeopardy awaits around every single corner here at the famed Italian venue. Everybody's hoping for a clean, competitive and fast race all the way through this field of very talented drivers. Levente Lasonche, 264. You can see at the back of your shot that aggressive Team Italia car, repaired and in position. Good to see an opportunity for the Hungarian driver to make amends for the qualifying issues that he suffered yesterday. There is Lasonche's machine lining up a very fast car this weekend. Levente has a big opportunity. So the moment we've all been waiting for is almost upon us. A little bit of shuffling at the grid. Green flag wave. We are all clear to go motor racing at Monza for TCR Europe, round 11. The lights go out and we are going. That's a stall. Ruben Volt at the front of the field has stalled the car. That opens the door for Kobe Powles for a clear run down into T1. Volt gets the car running again at the back of the grid. Davidovsky and Nico Baldan side by side into the chicane. Davidovsky has the outside line. That will become the inside line, but Baldan late on the brakes, snatches away second position. Further back, John Philippi, Gamandi as well, and Sonche and the other aggressive Team Italia car of Scamari go through the escape road. They rejoin the racetrack. There we can see another little battle. That is Lewis Brown trying to get past Scamari, who returns to the racetrack as one at the back of the field. But Kobe Powell's a gift to Kobe Powell's. He has clear track in front of them and the best opportunity. Tom Coronel on the charge from 8th on the grid, makes up 4 places already. Coronel now painted to the back of teammate Victor Davidovski. Nico Baldan covering the inside line, and then Lewis Brown leading the train further down. Victor Anderson, another not a great start for the MAGP Lincoln Co. The orange machine that you can see at the back of your shot. Anderson, though, trying to charge past one of the aggressive Team Italia cars. Further down the running order, that is Kachenko getting into a little bit of strife. He's trying to defend from the recovering Ruben Volt. Volt side by side in the ALM Motorsport Honda Civic. He will be furious that start did not go to plan at all. Can Volt, though, quickly make his way back through the field, still side by side with Kachenko, misses out into the Ascari. Kachenko, though, compromised, sliding the Volcano Honda as Ruben Volt, lights ablaze, tries to recover. Front of the field, Kobe Powell's our race leader. Nico Baldan covering the inside line. Tom Coronel, lights ablaze in his machine as well. 4th position, great start. And importantly for Coronel, ahead of championship rival John Philippi. Giacomo Gamandi in the Audi, runs a little bit wide through the curve of Michele Alboreto. He's under pressure now, but let's have a look at Victor Davidovski on the charge. Victor Davidovski, 3rd position. Fancy's trying to find a way past teammate, Italian driver Nico Baldan. Baldan has the inside line, though, and has him covered on the brakes. Can he get the car stopped into the chicane? Yes, he can. Baldan holds on to that 2nd position. Further back, John Philippi makes a way past Lewis Brown, so Philippi moves up another position into 5th place at the expense of his new Conti Racing teammate. And just behind, Scamari in the aggressive Team Italia car has a good start. 7th place. Couple of positions gained off of the start in the run to the first couple of laps of this race. Powell's now building a gap, 1.1 seconds to the good from Nico Baldan behind the Belgian driver. Exactly what he wanted to do. He needs to scamper away as quickly as possible at the front of the field. The more gap, the more cars he can put between himself and Tom Coronel, the stronger his championship aspirations come into the 2nd race of today. But Coronel has the small matter of Victor Davidovski and Nico Baldan ahead of him to try and overcome, and his fellow championship rival John Philippi keeping a watching brief. A little bit further behind in 5th position, Lewis Brown in 6th, Scamari holding on to 7th place from Victor Anderson. Gamandi in 9th ahead of Peklin in 10th. Ruben Volt makes his way up to 11th position, so he's moved past the Sonche, Tichenko and Yelmini as well. So Ruben Volt, in fact, looking at this one, Felice Yelmini doesn't look like he's on the racetrack, so Felice out of the running already in this one. The PMO Motorsport mechanical issues appear to continue. It was hindered in qualification, and that's carried over into the race, it seems. Lewis Brown under massive pressure now from the Hyundai Elantra N of Giovanni Scamari behind the number 84 machine, debut in TCR Europe. He's got relevant and recent experience of this track in the TCR car, and he's putting that one to good effect. But I invite you to cast your eyes a little bit further back to the battle that's been just outside of the top 10 as Ruben Volt continues to make his charge to the pack. There you see Volt locked up into the chicane. In fact, I think we've lost a couple of cars. There is Gamande. There is massive damage as well to Daniel Kachenko's Volcano Motorsport Audi. Entire front end of the car ripped off. Looks like there's been contact between the two of them. That is going to be an almost certain safety car period, I'm absolutely sure. And the first corner, the pinch point of this Monza circuit, once again strikes some of our competitors. Good news though for Ruben Volt, he's moved up into 10th, and there is Daniel Kachenko's car looking very sorry for itself indeed. The Ukrainian into the side of series returnee Giacomo Gamandi. So let's have a look. Ruben Volt to the inside, tries to find his way past the Italian driver, which he does so. Gamandi locks up, and then Kachenko forgets there's a corner, it seems, and torpedoes the side of the Italian driver. Very, very scruffy driving from Daniel Kuchenko there, and Giacomo Gamandi. An innocent bystander can do nothing but sit in the car and wonder, where did that come from? So, safety car, good to see Kuchenko out of his Volcano car, so he seems like he's perfectly all right, which is the most important thing. Can't quite say the same, though, for the Audi RS3 LMS TCR. Big damage to the front of the car, and a short turnaround between this and the second and final race of the day, as I say, for 420 CEST. So there's going to be a lot of work for Volcano Motorsport to get that car up and running, and head bowed. Giacomo Gamandi, I'm sure he's a little bit winded from that one as well, and big work for Lima Racing to get his Audi back in running order again for the second race of the day. So real shame to see two drivers eliminated in such a fashion. And now the field is neutralised behind the safety car. We have a 10-lap race distance. We can extend that to 12 laps to accommodate safety car running, but no further than 12 laps will we go. And hopefully the marshals here at Monza can get the debris in the cars cleared up quickly. The snatch vehicle's already out there on the track as we take another look at what happened. Ruben Volt to the inside. Gamandi locks the car, gives him space. And then Kuchenko, off-put, unsighted by the drama ahead. Misses the corner, catches the curb on the inside. No way he's going to make it through the right-hander. And sadly for Giacomo Gamandi, wrong place, wrong time. Acts as a brake for the Volcano Motorsport driver. And both cars out on the spot. Daniel Kuchenko will be very disappointed, I'm sure, when he watches a replay of that one. Helmet off, though. It's good to see that Kuchenko is physically absolutely all right, if not a little bit disappointed. Safety of these TCR touring cars is incredibly high. Of course, it's good to see that Kuchenko out and behind the barriers, and same for Giacomo Gamandi. Looks like the marshals have already cleared the Lima Racing machine, so Gamandi's car is safely out of harm's way. Snatch vehicle on the racetrack doing the same to Daniel Kuchenko's machine. And hopefully once we've cleaned up, we can get racing once again. So let's take a quick look at the running order now, as we're behind safety car conditions. Kobe Powles is our race leader from Nico Beldan. Victor Davidovsky in third position. Tom Coronel currently fourth in the running order. Made up places from 8th on the grid. It's been a good start to the race for Dutch driver Coronel. In 5th we have John Philippi, his fellow championship rivals. Lewis Brown is in 6th position. A very impressive 7th place so far for the second of the two aggressive Team Italia cars. That is Scamardi in 7th place ahead of Victor Anderson. Ivan Peklin is in 9th. Ruben Volt recovering in 10th place. We've lost Levente Lasonche, Giacomo Gamandi, Daniel Kuchenko and Felice Yelmini from this race. Fastest lap currently is by car number 8, which is Nico Beldan. A 1 minute 59.093, so quite a way away at this moment in time from the pace that we saw in qualification, in the mixed conditions of qualification. That's courtesy, of course, of the fact that we're in racing conditions, the cars are full of fuel, and the track still is offering up very little grip for these drivers. It's been wet overnight, it's cold this morning, and the drivers are all struggling to get some pace into their machines. 4 of 12 laps completed, still behind the safety car. When the lights of the safety car go out, we'll be able to go racing once again. So we'll keep our eye on that one. Hopefully it won't be too long and everything can be all cleared up and we can go racing again with a bit of luck. Levente Lasonche, in fact, where is Lasonche? 11th position. So the repaired car seems to be working well for Levente at this moment in time. Still in touch with the pack. He's lost out, of course, to the recovering Ruben Volt, but the Hungarian driver will be pleased to have navigated his way through the opening few tours of this circuit. And he'll be looking to dig deep and see if he can try and extract some pace in that 264 machine. He was quick in qualification, Great work by Aggressive Team Italia to get that car repaired and ready to go. Racing again following a sizable shunt, it has to be said, in qualification. So Lasonche, he knows this is an opportunity to extract some pace. On the home soil as well, of course, for Aggressive Team Italia. So he'll be hoping that he can find himself some clear track in which to explore the pace of that car. As you can see on your screen, 2 laps have been added to our race distance, courtesy of this safety car intervention. We're coming down into the first chicane where the indiscretion between Gamandi and Volcano Motorsport driver Daniel Kachenko took place. Let's have a look, see how clear the circuit looks. Looks pretty clear. Both cars are no longer on the racetrack, which is a great thing. So great work once again by the Orange Army at the side of the circuit. The marshals doing a fabulous job to make sure that conditions are good and safe for us to go motor racing here at Monza. So hopefully with those cars now safely behind the barriers, in fact there is Kachenko's machine actually still being hoisted away by the crane. Difficult job with the front wheel so heavily damaged as we saw in those shots. It's difficult to get the car. You can't drag it, you've got to lift it. You've got to get a crane onto the track, flatbed truck, get it lifted and out of the way, which is why it's a little bit slower than ideal. But hopefully in the next couple of laps we'll be able to go racing again here in round 11 of TCR Europe. This is rounds 11 and 12 today. There's only one more weekend left to go as we head to the season finale at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia on the 21st and 22nd of October. We've got a championship to decide. Tom Coronel comes into this one as the championship leader from Kobe Powell's and John Philippi, a further 2 points adrift in 3rd position. So Powell's, Philippi and Tom Coronel all come to you racing drivers, all very hungry indeed for this championship and at different spectrums of their career. Coronel, 51 years of age, he's won championships, he's won races, he's raced in a wealth of machinery over his career. He wants the TCR Europe, his first TCR Europe championship title. At the other end of the spectrum, you've got Kobe Powell's, 18 years of age, brand new to the world of touring car and circuit racing, having come from a rallycross background, immediately looking comfortable and at home in a touring car machine, matching the pace of his more experienced teammates and rivals at ComTU Racing. Powell's very firmly in championship contention, and then John Philippi, who has been very much at the top of his game as well for many, many years in international touring car competition. Philippi's first season at ComTU Racing, now behind the wheel of the Audi. And he's very much made himself at home at ComTU and is one of the firm championship challengers. 5 of 12 laps completed. We saw it on the screen. Safety car is in this lap. There you can see the lights are extinguished on the Audi. Kobe Powell's becomes the de facto race leader and safety car now. He will maintain a consistent speed, a consistent line at the front of the pack. The field will follow, and when that safety car peels in, it'll be up to Kobe Powell's to decide when to hit the loud pedal and try and turn his track position into an advantage for the run down into T1. Nico Baldan behind, though, looks hungry to find a way past. Italian driver in Italy on home soil. Nico Baldan wants a big result in front of his home fans, but can he do anything about Kobe Powell's now as we come into the curve at Michele Alboreto? As soon as we exit this corner, it'll be the drag race to the start-finish line, and we will be racing once again here at Monza. Powell's blue car, yellow highlights, leads the field. Nico Baldan now. Powell's goes nice and early. Nico Baldan with him. Victor Davidovski for good measure, hanging on to the back of his Italian teammate for the drag race down into T1. A big slipstream opportunity for these drivers. Powell's tries to break that slipstream. Baldan heavily on the defensive. Victor Davidovski in the middle of the track. Tom Coronel trying to carve out a piece of racetrack for himself as well. In 4th position, Coronel, though, doesn't have an opportunity to get alongside. Victor Anderson in the background as well, going side by side with Scamari. Ruben Volt around the outside of Pecklin for good measure. And then as we see Levente Lasonche at the back of the shot trying to buy into this one as well. Lasonche has the run on Ruben Volt, but Volt has the inside line. Anderson compromise through the curve of Grande. He's going to be under pressure now for the run down into the chicane. Victor Anderson goes defensive to the inside. Volt has the outside line. Lasonche decides discretion is the better part of valor and sticks back to the back of this train to keep watching, to keep waiting for an opportunity to unfold. None does so though, and Ruben Volt now to the inside of Pegford. That's a very brave and optimistic manoeuvre through the first of the two Lesmo corners, and in the second one he stays side by side with the Audi and gets the job done. Nice overtake for Ruben Volt. That moves him up very much inside the top 10. He's now in, I believe, is that 8th position that we're finding Volt? No, 9th position. So a good restart there from the Estonian driver, and a good restart at the top of the field for Kobe Powles. He still leads this race and has a healthy gap of about 7/10 of a second. The chasing Baldan, Davidovski and Coronel trio behind. Trying to break the toe for the run down to Michele Alboreto. Kobe Powles is still our race leader from Nico Baldan. They're all nose to tail, but look here, Ruben Volt immediately, Pecklin trying to find a way back pass, and Volt runs very, very wide indeed. The Honda in massive difficulties, is on the outside of the circuit, so Pecklin will have pretty much a slam dunk overtake to get back in front of the Honda driver, but we know that Honda is sharp in a straight line here at Monza, so Ruben Volt will be looking to immediately attack. Once again, running down into T1, Kobe Powles still has the lead, but that is now reduced significantly to Nico Baldan. So Baldan using slipstream to good effect, and there is our little gaggle of cars. There is Ruben Volt. Not only has Pecklin found a way past, but Victor Anderson and Levente Lasonche are still very firmly in the same postcode. So Ruben Volt moves forward 3, then back 1 again. The game of snakes and ladders for the Estonian driver. He's in a motor race, mark my words. He'll be frustrated that he's given up that pole position, but he's having a great battle further down the running order. And Ivan Pecklin making a very positive impression on his first start in the TCR touring car. As I say, that one runs a little bit deep into the chicane. Volt has the overlap, and Volt makes the position up. So another place gained for Ruben Volt. Can he hold on to that place, and more importantly, can he find a way to close down Scamardi ahead? That's the big question. And Pecklin locks the outside front left, runs very deep as well actually to keep the car on the tarmac, but that's an easy pass for Lasonche and an easy pass for Victor Anderson as well. So Pecklin now shuffles his way to the back of the grid as we look at Nico Baldan in second place, still pursuing Kobe Powles ahead, still not able to get on level pegging terms with the Belgian driver at the front of this field. Scamardi in the unmistakable aggressive Team Italia car at the back of this train now, starting to make this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 car fight at the front of the field. Victor Davidovski is none too keen to give up his podium position, but he's got title chasing teammates Tom Coronel and John Philippi behind. Will the Macedonian feel it wise to not particularly fight hard against Tom Coronel? He's not going to give him a present, of course he's not, but he's not going to push too hard in defending that position as Coronel tries to use the slipstream for the run down into T1. Not close enough on this occasion, shows his nose to the inside, just lets Davidovski know that he is there, but he's not close enough to make a realistic attempt to find a way past. So Coronel still in 4th place, still a good start for Tom, but he'll be hoping a podium position at the very least will do his championship charge the world of good, especially considering Kobe Powles, his main rival for the title, is leading this race at this moment in time from teammate Nico Baldan, Davidovski, and there is that Coronel and Philippi trio just at the back of these 3 cars at the front, duo, sorry, these 3 cars at the front of the field. Starting to drop Scamardi now in 7th position. He's going to very soon be coming under pressure from Ruben Volt behind and Victor Anderson in the MAGP Lincoln Co. 03. The Generation 1 Lincoln Co. car becoming slightly detached from it all in 10th place ahead of Pecklin, and then Gamandi and Kachenko, of course, are out of this race courtesy of the safety car inducing dramas that we saw a few laps ago. Incident involving cars 3 and 7 is under investigation. That is the Kachenko and Gamandi drama that we saw a few moments ago. The stewards are going to review that one and see if blame and penalties need to be apportioned to the drivers. There is Scamardi in the background coming through Ascari, very leery indeed for his run down into Parabolica. Scamardi pushing that Hyundai Elantra TCR to the absolute limit he can get it at this moment in time, and it's been a very impressive debut in TCR Europe for Giovanni Scamardi at this moment in time, comfortably inside the top 10, very close in fact to a top 6 running position. That will mirror or beat his best results in TCR Italy, where he competes more often than not. So a great introduction to the championship for Scamardi at this moment in time. It'll be interesting to see how he fares where Ruben Bolt inevitably closes up to the back of him, as further down we can see Victor Anderson and Levente Lasonche side by side into the chicane. Anderson holds on to that one for now. Running down into the second chicane, here is Kobe Powell's unflustered, it's fair to say, at the front of the field. And actually look to the back of his shot, Ruben Bolt does make that position, so Scamardi moves down into 8th place. It was inevitable. I don't think Scamardi fought that one too hard, and Ruben Volt's moved himself up into 7th position as we saw him just rejoining the circuit, having cut the second chicane, and this is how he got the job done. Volt to the inside line. This is braking points, very nice indeed. Scamardi recognises there's a Honda Civic alongside him, gives him racing room, and that is job done for Ruben Volt as Victor Anderson and Levente Lasonche at the back of the shot try and mirror that manoeuvre as well. So 9 laps in the book. Slippery surface, flag waved by the marshals to the Ascari chicane. You can still see the damp patches on the tarmac here at Monza, so everybody needs to apply due caution through that corner. And now Victor Davidovski under pressure from Coronel. Coronel tracking in the wheel tracks of the number 11 machine, goes to the outside for Parabolica, tries the switch back, there's not enough room, elects against that one. He's going to follow Davidovski now through the Michele Alboreto corner, try and get the slipstream on his Macedonian teammate for the run into T1. On his tippy toes is Tom Coronel in 4th position. He fancies the bottom step of the podium. Victor Davidovski is the man between himself and that podium position. Davidovski has the inside line. Coronel, lights ablaze, looks to the outside. Not enough room on this occasion. Little snatch of the brake from Davidovski, but nothing to worry about at this stage. Coronel now starting to pile on the pressure of his Macedonian teammate. He's desperate for that position, desperate for those championship points for his aspirations of taking the TCR Europe title this season. He needs the points because his main rival, Kobe Powell's, is our race leader at this moment in time. So Tom Coronel cannot afford to concede too many to his main championship rival, although he does seem to have lost ground a little bit now from Victor Davidovski. So what's happening here with Coronel? Does he have a mistake? Does he have a bigger problem? But Coronel has dropped off massively from the leading 3 cars. So a little bit of a momentum loss for Dutch driver, car number 34, Tom Coronel, and he's now in the clutches of John Philippi behind. Philippi, his main championship rival, trying to find a way past Coronel. He's gone from the attacker to the defender. He'll not like that one bit, will Coronel in 4th position, as Powell leads the pack, and now free of the Dutch driver behind. Victor Davidovski has an opportunity to attack Nico Baldan ahead. Can Davidovski do anything about the Italian driver for 2nd place as Coronel tries to recover that lost ground and keep John Philippi at bay? Lewis Brown on the defensive from Ruben Volt. Volt on the recovery charge. He has the outside line, but he does have the overlap. Can Brown get him on the brakes? No, he can't. Slips back behind. Ruben Volt into 6th position. The recovery drive continues for the LMO Motorsport car, and that's Coronel. A problem for Tom Coronel is into the gravel. He's got the car back on the racetrack, but there is smoke from the front left-hand corner of Coronel's machine straight in to pit lane for the Dutch driver. But this is massive for the championship. We wondered if Coronel had a problem, losing ground to the top 3, and now we know. Championship leader Tom Coronel from 4th position is down pit lane
He is completely out of contention for this podium fight now, and this is going to have a huge impact on his championship chances. There we see the Continu car coming back onto the racetrack, a delamination potentially at the front of the car, but Coronel will be distraught. The Dutch driver does not need this to happen so close to the end of the season, and this is going to be a massive points haul for Kobe Powell's. He's going to take away the full score of 40 and things stand as they are, and with Tom Coronel potentially into retirement, we could have a brand new championship leader in TCR Europe. Kobe Powell's could not have asked for more coming into this race. Still got a couple of laps left though on the clock, so we've just seen with Coronel, don't count your chickens until they are hatched. You've got to stay to the checkered flag in order to confirm the result, and Kobe Powell's now will be on tender hooks, listening to the car, wondering if there's any noises, any knocks, any bangs in the machine, making sure the tyres are behaving as they should, making sure he himself doesn't make any mistakes, but he will be aware that Tom Coronel's out of this race. He'll be aware that his next nearest rival is now John Philippi, but Philippi's under massive pressure as well from Ruben Volt behind, so this is a big opportunity for Philippi to close that gap down, but Ruben Volt has other ideas in the ALM Motorsport Honda Civic. They're in 4th and 5th position. Volt, of course, running light in this race, less success ballast than those around him. The Honda, very quick car here at Monza, and Ruben Volt has a point to prove. Philippi goes defensive for the run down into the first chicane. Volt slips out of the slipstream nice and early, has the outside line, is good on the brakes, is the Honda driver. A little kiss between the two of them, a lock up from Philippi. Volt elects to skip over the chicane. He'll have to give that one back, though he wasn't ahead of the Continu driver going into the chicane. I think Volt has slowed down, recognised that one. He'll let Philippi back through. But this is the final lap of the race. Opportunities are reducing for these drivers, and there we go, Philippi back up into 4th position, so Ruben Volt now will have to go for an aggressive move if he wants that 4th position. Kobe Powell's will have to be inch perfect. The pressure on the shoulders of the Belgian driver is intense at this stage of the race. Only a few more corners to go, and a Continu racing 1, 2, 3, 4 as it stands, but there is Volt. Volt has the inside line, Volt has the advantage, takes the high ground and the position away from John Philippi. Philippi doesn't fight that one too hard. Ruben Volt up in a 4th position, Philippi down into 5th place, and this is all helping Kobe Powell's championship charge even more, as he's going to get a bigger point spread between himself and Philippi behind. It's helping Tom Coronel as well. Coronel is still in the pit lane, classified 11th on the running order, but not currently running out on the racetrack, as now we head down the back straight for the final time. And at the front of the field, Kobe Powell's comes in to the curver, Michele Alboreto for the final time. One more corner, one more acceleration zone, and Kobe Powell's at the front of the field has delivered a commanding performance for his 5th victory in TCR Europe. He takes the checkered flag, the lights are flashing. Kobe Powell's is the winner of round 11 of TCR Europe here at Monza. Nico Beldan, strong result in 2nd position, makes the Continu Racing 1, 2, 3 from his teammate Victor Davidowski. Right at the line, Peklin makes his way past as well to move into 9th place, Levente Lasonche in 10th. 4th position is Ruben Volt, recovering from the stall on race start. 5th position, John Philippi. Lewis Brown on debut for Continu crosses the line in 6th. Giovanni Scamane on debut in the series crosses the line in 7th position from Victor Anderson in 8th. Peklin, as we saw at the line, makes his way past Levente Lasonche, and a dejected Tom Coronel still in pit lane, currently 11th on the timing screens. But Coronel, it could have been so much more for the Dutch driver, and now it is very firmly momentum swing to Kobe Powell's at the front of the field. He takes the victory, and with it, the provisional 40 points. This has been everything that Kobe Powell's could have asked for coming into this race. He has received. Game on in TCR Europe and the championship fight. teammate Nico Baldan. Flash of the lights there to congratulate his young teammate. And let's not forget, this is the 5th race victory, so the most winningest driver this season is Kobe Powell's. He's brand new into Continu. He's brand new behind the wheel of an Audi. He's brand new behind the wheel of a touring car, and it's his first season of circuit racing. And he's coming here, he's comfortable behind the wheel immediately and taking it to the best drivers in Europe. And these are our provisional race results after 28 minutes and 23 seconds of racing. Kobe Powell's beats Nico Baldan to the line from Victor Davidovsky. Ruben Volt in 4th position from John Philippi. Lewis Brown is 6th, Giovanni Scamardi in 7th. Victor Andersson is 8th, the Swedish driver for MAGP. Ivan Peklin in 9th. Levente Lasonche is the final classified driver in 10th. Tom Coronel sits out this one in the pit lane with a drama at the front of the car. Is classified 11th. Giacomo Gamande, Daniel Kachenko and Felice Yalmini do not finish the race, and Yalmini didn't even start in the PMO Motorsports machine. And there are the championship standings. So Coronel does lead the championship still, but now by a singular point from Kobe Powell's. John Philippi closed it down to 19 as well, so we've very firmly got a fight on our hands in the top 3. Victor Davidovsky holds on to 4th place, 229 points. He is 29 points ahead of his new teammate Lewis Brown. Dusan Borkovic is 6th in the standings as rounding out our top 6 drivers. So 1 point in it, and we've still got another race to go. Tom Coronel, though, can take some solace from the fact that he will be starting in 3rd position for the reverse grid race. Kobe Powell's will be starting in 9th. So it's a big opportunity for Tom Coronel to recover some of those lost points heading into what will be our final weekend of racing, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, at the end of October. Victor Davidovsky may not have won the race on track, but he certainly won the race to Parc Ferme. The Macedonian driver, 3rd position, already in place, waiting for his 2 teammates to take their place below the podium and then go and celebrate what is arguably one of the best podiums in motorsport. Iconic is the Monza podium. There is Kobe Powell's tap on the roof from Victor Davidovsky, congratulating his teammate on another superb performance. I'm running out of ways to congratulate Kobe Powell's on his performance. As yes, he knows that one is a big move for his championship. Nico Baldan satisfied again, another 2nd position, this time in front of the home crowd. It's been a good return to TCR Europe for Nico Baldan this season. Celebrations, though, aplenty for Continu. Kobe Powell's a very, very satisfied young man indeed. We didn't see a single mistake at the front of the field. Controlled the car off the line, controlled the field after the safety car, soaked up the pressure from that man, Nicola Baldan, and delivered exactly what he needs to deliver if he's got any chance of taking this championship. At 1 point, it looked like it was Tom Coronel's for the taking. And Kobe Powell's not satisfied with what's been an exceptional season already. Continues to apply the pressure. There is mum. Big celebration. A very proud mother and father come follow Kobe Powell's all around Europe. And again, their boy does them proud at the front of the field. A very composed performance. It's difficult to remember that Kobe is a new man to touring car racing, to circuit racing. There's only a young man at 18. It's very, very hard to remember that one, because these are performances of a seasoned professional driver. He's a big star, Kobe Powell's. I want to say he's a star of the future, but frankly, he's a star of today. And it's a name that I think you're going to see a lot of at the front of international competition. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of this opening race of the day, round 11 of TCR Europe at Monza. We're a day later than we planned to get started, but we put on a great show for the drivers. Ruben Volt had a terrible start off of the line, made the recovery drive, but here he was lucky to avoid dramas as that man, Giacomo Gamande, sideswiped by Daniel Kachenko in the Volcano Motorsport machine. But Volt continued his charge through the field, making his way up to 4th position at the end. A mistake for debutant Van Pelkin there. Opened the door for an easy pass to the cars behind. But while all that drama was unfolding, while drivers were peeling off to the side of the circuit and into pit lane, Kobe Powles commanded the field at the front. Make no mistakes. Have incredible pace and find a way to take the victory. That's the mantra of Kobe Powles, and he has done the deed once again in TCR Europe. There is the famous Monza podium now. We're just waiting for the drivers to make their way up on to that podium to receive their trophies, spray their champagne and celebrate. A fabulous way to start the day here at Monza on a Sunday. The first track action of the day is TCR Europe.
I think it's fair to say, for those who have braved the early morning conditions and the slightly cool ambient temperature, we put on a great race for them and a great show. For the fans, for you fans at home, I'm sure you will all agree. And we're going again this afternoon as well on the TCR TV app and TCR TV on YouTube. So put a date in your diary as Victor Davidovski, all smiles, takes his third position, third step of the podium. Nico Baldan at home in 2nd position as well. And then man of the moment, Kobe Powles, our race winner, celebrates again with the team and the crowd. Handshakes all round, and it's a come to you podium 1, 2 and 3 as the Belgian squad continues to show exactly how you go motor racing in TCR. There is the national anthem for Kobe Powles and for team as well, the Belgian national anthem, played to celebrate their success. And what a fantastic performance it was indeed. 3rd position trophy for Victor Davidovski. Another well-earned podium there for Davidovski. 2nd place for Nico Baldan, and the victory for Kobe Powles at the front of the field. Great performances all round. Great results. And remember, 4:25 CEST, we're back in action again. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you all this afternoon for round 12 of TCR Europe 2023.